Welcome back and congrats once again for transforming your wealth imprint from poverty to prosperity. Now, the changes have already begun at the unconscious level, but you're probably already noticing them at the conscious level as well. So what I'd like to do now is up the ante. What I'd like to do is set you a 30-day challenge. Now, here's what I want you to do for 30 days. Every day for 30 days, I want you to continue, before you go to sleep, going through each and every one of these empowering beliefs. Every single day for the next 30 days. And I also want to make sure that you have actually handwritten, not typed out, not copy and pasted, but handwritten each of these empowering beliefs at least 100 times at some point in the 30 days. So every single night before you go to sleep, read these out loud 15 to 20 times, see them, feel them, experience them. But in the next 30 days, I want each one of these empowering beliefs to be handwritten at least 100 times. So let's get into beliefs 6, 5, and 4. So 6, 5, and 4. Let's have a look at what we're actually going. And we're going to start with belief number 6, like we've been going, because we're going up the ladder. So belief number 6 that people actually go through is this. You need money to make money. You need money to make money. Now the fact is, it's called wealth creation, not wealth multiplication. If it was called wealth multiplication, then sure, I understand. You need money to multiply to make money. But because it's called wealth creation, the fact is you do not need money to make money. In fact, creating wealth is when we add value to other people. And you can add value anytime you like without the requirement of money. For example, you can add value through businesses. You can add value to the job that you do to get a pay rise. You can add value in the form of combining property deals and shares. And you can do all these things with very little money, or something known as OPM, which actually stands for other people's money. So the belief that you need money to make money is just not true at all. So the empowering belief that I would like you to replace that with is this. Get the pen ready. Let's write it down. I have the power to create value in other people's lives and create wealth in my own life. So I have the power to create value in other people's lives and create wealth in my own life. Again, put that one down and let's start to change that imprint. So what is limiting belief number 5, I hear you ask? Maybe you didn't ask it, I don't know, but let's jump straight into it. Belief number 5 is this one. I'm not good with money. I'm not good with money. Now the problem is with this belief, there is probably some level of truth for a lot of people. I mean, if we look at the past and we look at the present and our financial situation of what's going on here, we make a pretty simple conclusion that even though I've been earning money or maybe been unemployed or employed or whatever it is, even though I've had access to money for a large amount of my time, I don't seem to have any of it, which means I'm obviously not good with money. And this is based on a conclusion that we make pretty easily. So wealth creation is a skill. That's the most important thing to understand. It's like riding a bike. The more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. But what people think is it's not a skill. You know, you either have it or you don't. And the fact is, any wealth creation strategy can be learned when you have the right wealth imprint. And you're working on your wealth imprint right now. So here's the cool thing. As we know that wealth creation is a skill, all you need is the right strategy. And once you have the right strategy, you can replicate that strategy over and over and over again, which means it can be learned like any other skill you've learned in your life. So here's a new belief I'd like you to write down. Every day I am becoming even better at mastering my money. I'll say it again. Every day I am becoming even better at mastering my money. So if you don't think you're good with money, that's really only 1/3 of the picture. It's really important to understand that concept, that even though you think you may or may not be good with money, it's only 1/3. It's what we call the fuel. You know, and the fuel is basically the idea of what actually drives us from within. But the fuel is actually only 1/3. The other 2/3 is the tools and the vehicle. And so when you actually have a good wealth imprint, which is the fuel, then you've got good tools behind you, which is the skill of wealth creation, and then you find yourself a great vehicle, then you can actually move forward from there. So becoming good with money is really just a requirement of learning and applying the stuff that you've learned from people who know what they're talking about. Now, belief number 4 is this: money is not that important and it can't buy you happiness. Money is not that important and it can't buy you happiness. I'm sure you've heard it before, money can't buy happiness. I mean, let's face it, you can't walk into a store and say, excuse me, can I please have a bag full of happiness? You know, they don't sell happiness in the shops. And obviously, we can't really get the happiness that we're looking for by going into the stores if we keep this mindset that money doesn't buy happiness. But there is a book out there that was written by a gentleman called Thomas Corley, and he did basically a 5-year study into the daily habits. And it was a #1 best-selling book called Rich Habits. And basically what he discovered, Thomas Corley, in this study, was that as he started to go through the research, he found some interesting statistics. And it was this, that 82% of wealthy people were happy. 82% of the people he investigated through his survey were actually happy, while 98% of the poor people that he researched were actually unhappy. And they did a whole bunch of statistics. They found out that 87% of wealthy people were actually happier in their marriage, while 47% of poor people were happy within their marriage. That's a big gap between those two areas of life around happiness, with the background of being wealthy or poor. He also did some research into happiness around doing what you love. And he found that 93% of wealthy people loved what they did, while 85% of poor people were unhappy with what they did for a living. So life is really about quality time. I think that's the thing that we need to understand, that the better the quality, the time we have to spend with our friends and our family and doing the things we're passionate about, and really doing passionate work or working on our health or having the freedom to travel the world or do what we love. Well, we can't really live life to the fullest working 40 hours a week in a job that we don't love and for a salary that we're not happy with. So by able to having the money that we want gives us the quality time that we desire, and then having that quality time allows us to actually find the things that we're happy with. So what I do know is that money does in fact provide options. That's kind of the key thing about it. It provides options for us and allows us to actually have the ability to spend time the way that we want to spend our time. So I don't believe that money doesn't buy happiness, not for 1 second. What I do know, though, is this. Money provides you the opportunity to have a whole bunch of time, and that time you can spend on anything you like when you have enough money. And so using that time for quality experiences, for doing the things you love, hanging out with the people that you love, that is where your happiness can be derived from. So here's the new value to finish off this video. It's simply this, the brand new belief. It's this. I value money because I value my time. Write that one down. I value money because I value my time. So please continue the list writing, continue the imagination process, continue seeing and feeling it every morning, every night before you go to sleep, 15 to 20 times out loud, in the morning 15 to 20 times out loud, and make sure each one of these new empowering beliefs you've handwritten at least 100 times in the next 30 days. Do it every single day if possible, and make sure we're starting to really work on this wealth imprint. Now I'm pretty excited because in the very next video we're going to reveal the most important belief that you need to bust through. Number 1, the one that over 90% of people have at an unconscious level that don't even know it exists. So make sure you do have a look for that next video. I'll be coming to you very shortly. And until then, just keep working your wealth imprint and keep getting those results you're after. I'll see you soon.